Today is May 21st and we are on our way to Epcot. And this is Highway 4. Busy as usual, slow going. And this is one of the reasons why, if you don't live here in the area and if you're coming to Walt Disney World, I recommend staying in a resort so that Disney transportation will take you to the parks and you don't have to deal with the I-4 traffic. Join us as we try to get to Epcot this morning. Presently it's 9:21. We live 6 miles from Epcot. Let's see how long it takes us in this traffic. So the sign here to Disney World says that Epcot is 3 miles. And it is 9:23. So the time is now 9:34 a.m. and we have reached the Walt Disney World, the most magical place on earth, gate. So ahead and right here to the side and all around us are the Disney transportation buses that I just mentioned. If you're staying at a resort, they will come and pick you up. This one in front of us went to a resort and picked up the people wanting to go to Magic Kingdom. So there's different buses for each park if you're staying at a Walt Disney World resort. They do the driving. You don't have to deal with any of the traffic. It's 9:36 and we are still on our way to Epcot. Okay, we have now reached the gates of Epcot. Over there is Spaceship Earth. And the time is now 9:38, so it's been about 17 minutes from the point that I showed you we were on I-4 in the traffic. Now once you get off I-4 and onto, is it 192 that we came in on?
No, we come in on World Drive.
Oh, well, see, I don't know. We came in on World Drive. So once you get off of 4 onto World Drive is pretty clear. I mean, it's not backed up.
Disney Road still.
You're on Disney property at that point, and you would think it would be crowded, but sometimes it is, sometimes it's not. This morning it wasn't. And so we're at the gate of Epcot. Also to note, the buses have their own entrance here at the gate, so they don't really have to stop and wait to pay for parking. That's another thing. Well, if you're a resort guest and you brought your car, you can park for free. But if you're staying at another off-site hotel, non-Disney, then you have to pay $35 to park. And while we're sitting here at the gate talking, waiting for our turn, if you do stay in a resort, some parks have extra hours for resort guests. So like if this was an extra hour day, well, now I think it's really only an extra 30 minutes. So like the park might open up at 8:30 for resort guests, while the general public comes in at 9.
Because you're done almost.
So I just noticed that the parking here today said $30. Now it's been $35, so I don't know if Disney just decreased the parking rates. Don't quote me on that. But, or if Epcot's always been $30 to park and I haven't noticed. But I thought that parking had been $35. I'll have to check that out. It's a beautiful morning today. It's about 80 some degrees, but the humidity is not high yet. I'm sure it's going to get hotter as the day progresses, but right now it's a beautiful morning. Now the people that are cutting off to the side over there have paid for preferred parking, and if you're paying for preferred parking, that's going to cost you $50. Get you up a little closer. But we have found that the parking here at Epcot, it doesn't seem like you're ever very far away. Most of the time, we don't even take a tram, we walk it. Now Jerry's a cast member, so we don't pay for parking. That's one of the benefits of being a cast member. So we always park in the regular parking. Always make sure that you pay attention to the signs. Like this says Crush 213 with 216, and there's Crush 209 to 212. That is going to tell you where you parked. Now, I don't know why people don't take advantage of it, but your Disney Experience app has a parking locator on it. So it usually pops up when it recognizes that you're in the parking lot, and it tells you what lot you're in, which this is Crush, and then it tells you what row it thinks you're in, and if it's not the exact row, you can look at the row numbers that are painted here on the ground, and you can manually enter it into the parking app. And that way, once you get out of the park, you're tired, you're hot, you're sweaty, you're wanting to get back to the resort, or you're wanting to go back to your hotel, or you're going back home, you're not having to do like the call of the horns is what I'm calling it. A lot of times at night, people are setting off their car alarms so they can find their car. It's kind of really funny of an evening to just sit here in the parking lot and watch people raise their clickers to set their alarm off and trying to twist around in different directions so they can figure out which car horn is theirs, because everybody's doing it, so you just have a chorus of car horns. It gets quite comical and quite confusing. So I always use the parking app. If I'm in a hurry and I don't have time to use the parking app, I just snap a picture as we're walking by of Crush 202. But you do forget where your car is after you've had a long day in the park, and everything is dark when you come out and everything looks the same. Also, one thing you'll learn from Disney, and see, we are parking in Hey Hey today, so most likely if that's Hey Hey 110, we're in 109 over here, and the parking spaces are double cars, so you pull in and then they park a car behind you. Now when you get out of the car, don't ever walk behind you, because they are still parking cars. You always walk in front of the cars that have been parked, like these people are doing. That is a Disney safety feature. So if you get out and try to walk behind our car, they'll start yelling at you, the cast members will, to please, friend, walk in front of your car. Jerry's keys are jingling, that's all the noise that you're hearing. Please don't do that. So always walk in front of your car for safety reasons. So on your app, if you scroll up, you'll see the car locator. And you hit Save Vehicle Location. So it says Epcot, Hey Hey, and it is saying that we are in 106. I am going to confirm that as we're walking, because sometimes it gets off by a row or two. Okay, so this is the app said 106, but actually we are in 109. So Jerry will tap find 109 and hit confirm and save. And then that will tell you that you're in Hey Hey 109. So later on, when you come back out to look for your car, you can go into the app to car locator and it will tell you where you parked. So, as you can see, I don't know if you can tell with this wide angle lens, we are not very far from the entrance. I am not used to seeing the crowds here at the entrance of Epcot. Might be a busy day in Epcot. I think this is the last week for the Flower and Garden Show. Flower and Garden Festival, excuse me. Food and Wine Festival, I believe, will be next. A lot of times the slowdown at the gates is because people do not know how to scan in for the first time. You tap your magic band or your pass card, and then you choose one finger, and that's going to be the finger you use for that ticket from now on. And you put that on the sensor, and so a lot of times people are not exactly knowing how to scan in. Sometimes with kids it's a little slower going, and sometimes with the elderly. And sometimes the scanners just kind of freak out. So, wide range of issues on why it's taking so long to get in this morning, with the park being open already for an hour. Okay, after a little delay, we are finally in Epcot at Spaceship Earth. No, it's not a golf ball. No, it's not a spear. No, it's not a globe. This is Spaceship Earth. Now, a little tip about Spaceship Earth. There's Minnie over there meeting and greeting. But another tip about Spaceship Earth is that because it's the first ride as you're coming in, a lot of new people, this is their first time in the park, they will run to Spaceship Earth and get in line. And so it's always a longer wait time. Here in about an hour, 2 hours, it'll be a walk-on. Connections Cafe here has your Starbucks and a lot of nice seating arrangements. Looks like a new Loungefly that I haven't seen before. This one's really cute, the Mickey version. Very cute magnets that I haven't seen here before, of each of the 4 theme parks. I am a Monsters, Inc. fan, as you've seen in previous videos. So this is a really cute, what do you call these? Are they pad folios? Whatever they're called, it's really cute. And of course, 4th of July is just around the corner. I know we haven't got into June yet, but they already have their 4th of July merchandise out. I guess today is about telling you my tips for coming to the parks. That's kind of how this video is going. One thing I really do is I bring my own water. Sometimes we'll buy water here, but it's like almost $5 a bottle. So I bought this little holder at our local Walmart. Put your own water bottle in it, and then I clip it to my little backpack that I carry. So it just helps. You want to stay hydrated when you are in the parks. You get hot and dehydrated pretty quickly. Okay, so that says bottled water is $3.75 a bottle. Now the bad thing is Orlando water has a funky smell and a taste to it. So once your water bottle is empty, if you refill it with the Orlando tap water here, it's not the best tasting. I mean, if you're severely dehydrated and you need to quench a thirst, then yes. But be aware that once you use your bottled water and you have to go to tap water, it's not going to be the greatest. I think the Flower and Garden Festival is one of my favorite festivals here. Epcot is always so beautiful during the Flower and Garden Festival. It's a beautiful park anyway, and it's quickly become my favorite park. Now here, coming up in June, I just learned that George Bush, his artwork is going to be presented here in the American section of the park. So I will definitely be coming back to see that. What am I talking about? I'm here every week, so yes, I'll be back to see it. So I thought, what is wrong with her eyebrow? There is a lizard crawling on her eyebrow. Gives new meaning to bushy eyebrows. Reptilian eyebrows. And I don't know my Encanto movie very well. I've watched it, but I don't know the characters, so I can't tell you her name. Coco statues. This is another gift shop. It's to represent a port store. You had Starbucks at the front of the park, and right here you have a little Joffrey's mini station. And pin trading is back. I do trade pins.
Check and see if they have any trades.
It's becoming popular again.
The only pinty trash can.
Oh, I just said, can I please get the picture? Can I get Pinster? Is it Pinster? I have Penelope and Pinster. Which one's this?
So how pin trading works is that you can buy a starter set of Disney pins, and if you see a cast member wearing a lanyard, you can trade, I believe, 2 times with the cast member your pin for one of theirs if you like it better. And then there are pin boards and pin trash cans, as you just saw. So if you're a pin collector, here recently there's been a lot of good pins because they just restarted the pin trading with the cast members after COVID. The Grand Fiesta Tour is one of my favorite little boat rides. I may go in there and see if it's a very long wait. Kind of on my own right now. Jerry's waiting to ride Mission Space. I have these transition lens on my glasses, and so coming out of the sunlight into here, it's really dark right now. We have eaten in this restaurant here. It's a Mexican restaurant, very good. Especially if you don't like seeing your food and you want to be surprised, it's really good. It's a very dark atmosphere. I'm kind of concerned about how long Grand Fiesta Tour will remain because it is based off of the old Three Caballeros cartoon. But as you can see right now, it's a walk-on. This is a very good relaxing ride if you want to get out of the heat and into the cool. Now, one thing to keep in mind is that there are rides inside buildings that don't look like ride buildings here in Epcot. I know our first year here, we ended up missing a lot of rides that were inside these buildings, this being one of them, just because we didn't know they were in the buildings. Cute little ride, cool little ride. Get you out of the heat for a little bit. So be sure to check out the Grand Fiesta Tour here in Mexico, the Mexican Pavilion here in Epcot. I hear that this is a very good restaurant right here as well for Mexican food. Walking into Norway now. This is where you'll find the Frozen characters, Anna and Elsa, and also the Frozen ride. Since there's not many kids rides here, this is one of the most popular for kids. Be sure another thing we didn't do that first year, because this was back in 2008. Our kids were young. We didn't go back. Each of these little pavilions, you can get really immersive with those and go back inside and see the different shops. Some have museums back there. So you want to be sure to take time to really walk through and enjoy this park. Now, Disney parks are one of the few parks that I feel completely safe traversing alone. Now, I wouldn't let my kids just run around alone. But as far as adults, Jerry and I splitting up, doing our own thing, completely cool with that. This has always been the money shot here in Epcot. just beautiful. So here's one of the places that you can get free water from Disney. So while I'm waiting here at the pass holders lounge, waiting for it to open, I did get 2 cups of water, and I have to say that this water has to be filtered because it does not taste like the normal Orlando water that you find in the parks. Tastes pretty good right now. Another tip is that I do carry these liquid IV hydration multiplier pouches in my backpacks for when it's hot like this. I put them in my water. As I said before in another video, this little rechargeable fan is a must for the Disney theme parks. So after waiting an hour for the pass holder lounge to open, I did get my button, and I had a cup of hot Moroccan tea with mint. It was pretty good. And I did have my picture made with the genie. So I say it was well worth it. Now the lounge would be a wonderful place to sit and relax. It was very relaxing. I know a lot of people are kind of down on it because they're just giving you water and tea and packaged nuts and snack mix. But to me, it was a very nice atmosphere, very pleasant. Would have been a nice place to sit down and just relax. I didn't do so because my husband is a cast member, not a pass holder, so he technically couldn't go in with me. And I didn't want him to be sitting out in this Florida heat while I was enjoying the cool of the pass holders lounge. I've never really stopped and take the time to look at the detail. In the France Pavilion. But the detail and the theming is pretty awesome. Okay, so here you have this camera with some suitcases. As you can see, what's really cool is, like I've said, I've never taken the time until moving here, and we don't have to rush around. I don't know if you can see it, but if you look inside, it looks like you are looking at the scenery ahead of you. Catching the last little bit of the beauty of the Flower and Garden Festival. So I left Jerry on the phone again. Daughter called. I'm hungry, so I'm headed over to the Living with the Land Pavilion to grab some lunch. I guess technically it's called The Land, but there's a ride called Living with the Land inside this building. So this food court area is called Sunshine Seasons. Let's see here. Rotisserie chicken, salmon. I've had the rotisserie chicken before, it's good. Let's see what's over here. Stir-fried chicken, Mongolian beef. Let's go here. So as you can see, the Seasons is a very happening place right now. But plenty of spaces to sit, relax for a little bit, and grab you a lunch. So, for the first time, I've actually went off and left my camera. As you can see, I got it back, but that was quite the experience. We had just passed the exit here at Epcot when I realized I don't have my camera in my hand. So I frantically turned around, scanned back into the park, ran to the restroom where I had just been. It wasn't there. And I ran to the pin trading store. And fortunately, they had it behind the cash register.
Unfortunately.
I said fortunately. And so I was able to get it back. I thought, man, that's a whole vlogging unit that I would be out. Plus all the footage I shot today. I was never so grateful. In fact, I should have got their names and gave them a cast compliment. But I was so grateful to get my camera back, I didn't think about it. Anyway, thanks for joining us today on this little adventure to Epcot, becoming one of my favorite parks. And remember, you have but this one life to live. So go out and capture your moments. And to me, people who do this are people of no character.